Okay, today on Pop Shop, tried to start my Goldwing the other day and it just crank, no start. So, after a bit of diagnosis, so typically, check your fuses, check your relays, make sure you got battery voltage, which I checked with the meter. All of that checked out, but still just cranking, no start. So I did some more investigating on forums and in my book and found that, let me get this little part out of here, this little feller is the culprit. And by the way I determine that is, let's come over here. Right here is a vacuum line. This vacuum goes like so. It's supposed to be able to hold a certain amount of vacuum on there. Well, it has absolutely no hold. The diaphragm's blown out. Pretty sure that's the problem. I bought a new one. Let's put the new one in and hopefully it works. Okay, I'm not sure what even holds this in here. The way I figured out that that's what it is, like I said, I was reading forums, but this hose is supposed to be on here, and that hose goes on there. This is actually the fuel shutoff valve that is vacuum actuated. Don't need that anymore. But from looking at the new one, apparently the screw comes up from the bottom under here. You got to take a lot of stuff apart to work on Goldwings. I gotta figure out how that works. Seems to move. Start pulling hoses off. All right, I think I see how this works. Get that hose off, out of the way. Get that, whatever it is, out of the way. Get a screwdriver for that. There's one on the floor. And I'm trying to get this hose to come loose from the filter. And because this is 35 years old, and who knows when the last time the filter was changed, they don't want to come loose. Holy struggle bus. That is in a little rubber holder. Maybe that'll make it better. That little rubber holder just kind of slid forward. Oh, that's fixing to throw gas everywhere. Oh yeah, right down my sleeve. All over the floor. Find a rag. Well, what I found was paper towels, but old one, new one, looks like it needed it. Set that aside. Try and mop up some of the gas I spilled everywhere because there's still gas in this hose. But it would appear, oh, there's one more hose right there. The one that catches the mess and lets it all drain out on the floor. Awesome. Anyway, I'll get this off of here, but it appears that this just lifts right off the top of the gas. Once I get other things out of the way. Okay, we got that hose out of there. Fuel cap also has a little holder, it fits on the same hose thing. and that comes up. However, not out. And not enough to get a screwdriver under there to detach it. I really don't think I like Goldwings. This appears to be not the greatest design ever. So this is attached to every bit of this, which I'm guessing that's my computer. Yeah. That sucks. Okay, I found that removing a bunch of screws around the airbox and getting all the plastic really loose and floppy, and reaching in here with a screwdriver and a magnet so I don't drop the screw, I was able to just lean it way up and unhook it. Not fun. So let's put in the other one and hope for the best. Okay, I had to hold this up, stick my fingers in, and he wouldn't have seen anything anyway, but now we can start stubbing all these hoses back on. That are all, the clamps are right behind everything you're doing. It's we'll go back to what it looked like when I started. Okay, I got some of the hoses back on, and I was taking the rubber off of the little rubber holder off of the filter, and I don't know if you can see, I hope so, the filter's not attached in there. So, kind of glad I did this. So, we'll put our little rubber thingy back on. Hook this back. Hook this back. Hook this back. There we go. Finished putting my hoses together, but I found it interesting that the fuel filter was falling apart. Okay. This goes back on with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. And the ones down in here are super easy to get to. So that's why I have a 2x4 holding my plastic out so I can get in there. So we'll get those back in, start buttoning plastic back up, and hopefully it runs when we're done. Okay, hopefully I can show this. It's actually useful. But trying to stick the screw down in that hole without losing it, or dropping it, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But if I put, woohoo, careful, the magnet right on the side, as I'm going down in there, because I don't have a magnetic screwdriver, but that's my little helper. 2x4 magnets, because I do everything by myself pretty much. Rinse and repeat. Okay, it just shut off. I don't understand. So now, I took this apart like a week ago, waiting on the part, and then I've been working out of town. Now I have to try to remember how all this goes back together. Yeah. So, struggle bus some more. That goes on after, I remember that. All this has to get poked up into little slots and grooves everywhere. And then Oh yeah, back here. Once this gets tucked in everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. That goes back right there. All right, there we go. In here, there's little tabs. After you get it tucked in all up around here, you gotta squeeze all this down, hook those little tabs, and then there we go. We're back in place. This part up here has a little hooky nooky in there. Just can get more cord out of the way. Two little rubber grommets in here. You can get it to line up, and then it just snaps down like so. Then there's these little plastic things that you have to wiggle the forks and finagle, and they just snap back in the hole. So I'm going to stick my head in the way and do that. Tab A and slot B. Kind of a pain in the butt because you got to line up this one, this one, this one, and snap that one, all while the handlebars are in the way. So tuck that in a hole, tuck that in a hole, get the bars. Woohoo! Almost knocked you all over. Get the bars out of the way, and get that one to tuck in, and then that one to tuck in. There we go. There's that part. Now, side covers just snap back on. These are, I guess, known for little tabs breaking off, so be careful with them. Only push straight in and out. Line up, line up. Oop. Same on the other side, and then we'll put the seat back on. All right, got the other side cover back on. So everything is hooked up. When I was first trying to figure out what's wrong with it, I did happen to read that you need quite a stout battery, at least 12.6, or they don't want to start, and that is 12.68. So, key on. Would you looky there? That stupid little diaphragm had me so mad. But there we go. Could have set the seat on, put these two bolts back in on the grab handles, and we'll be good to go. Got her fixed. Okay, well, kind of made this because I was getting so frustrated with this thing that if somebody else is having a crank no start issue on a Goldwing, maybe they could just pop that little top off. Right here, you pretty much just open your gas door, stick a hose on that. Now, I almost did it again. I was looking back at my footage and I didn't actually show where that vacuum line was because the camera was on a tripod, but put a vacuum line on there. According to the book, it's supposed to draw like a certain amount of vacuum, but if you just suck on a hose and you have zero vacuum holding, then that's obviously the problem. So hopefully this helps somebody out if they're having an issue with their Goldwing. I was going to go for a ride, but I have to go pick up a work truck that just got done at the shop, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.